We lift each other up, we're warriors of the heart, and the finish line is a circle. We lift each other up, we're warriors of the heart, and the finish line is a circle. As I fall into the depths of despair, I know you'll be there for me when I forget myself. The show was born out of a need to create. At first, I suppose, as a way to process or understand my experience. And then what I noticed is that once I'd put it out there, it touched people. And people would share their stories with me and even ask for advice. And I quickly realized that this story wants to be given a voice. It wants to be heard and told. And so it became important beyond my story and into something much more collective. I feel that rising from the ashes of a difficult experience is something we can all relate to. And what better way to do that than through art, turning our pain into something beautiful.
Moon, you shine upon the whole night, tell me, have you seen my brothers? But the moon remained cold, silent.
Oh my God, I created a sea of stretching people just with my words. How is it possible that words can create reality? And why these words? Why this curse? Be careful what you wish for. There's no way back from the deep dark night. I first heard the Seven Ravens in a tiny but well-known storytelling club in Kentish Town in London, and the images just stayed with me from many years ago. It's a fairy tale or a wonder tale, and this type of story can kind of irritate and niggle at your soul until we uncover the images inside of them. 5.5 years ago, I was working on a community theatre project of the Seven Ravens. And it might sound strange to say, but as I was having more and more of these psychotic episodes, the Raven story became more and more alive, until the two stories, mine and this one, blurred, and suddenly the line between them, I don't know where it was, but this is why I call it a living myth.
Like it.
Dear Miss Kane, you've been placed under Section 2 of the Mental Health Act, 1983. Not signing that.
Please don't leave me! Chocolate, 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 no, chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. Shh! Storyteller, story spinner, tale teller, Big Brother is watching.
Earth calling home. Earth calling home. It's got several parts to it. There's the Raven story, the psychosis, the hospitalization, the ceremonies, all kind of interwoven like a spider's web or something. And I would go amiss if I didn't give a special mention to the raven itself. This trickster bird found in many mythologies and cultures. And I found this quote which I loved. It says, "The raven is probably the world's most intelligent and playful bird. In the world of myth, it is something of a paradox and somewhat of a dark clown." What better image to encapsulate that mad essence of psychosis?
Smells like human in here, said one. Maybe we'll have something else to eat tonight, said another.
And it was suddenly as if a long, forgotten memory was being awoken. If someone were to ask me what would you advise to someone thinking about drinking ayahuasca, I would first of all say, I don't know anything, I know nothing, but I can tell you my experience. And firstly, I would say it's important to know what's in the medicine, who prepared it, where did it come from, and of course, who is guiding the experience. Not just can I trust them, but do they have the expertise and experience to take me on this soul, psyche, spirit opening journey? And you know, there's a lot out there on the spiritual supermarket these days, so I would say approach with caution and care. That's something that I didn't actually realize was important, to approach the medicine with some sort of respect, maybe a bit like you would do to a wise old grandmother. But it is something extremely mystical that we cannot possibly know what the outcome will be. So with that in mind, I would also say aftercare and integration are really important. Do I have a support network to support me after a ceremony or some kind of opening experience, whether that's friends, family, community? And in terms of integration, Rebecca Shaman, a teacher from London, says we in the West, we're so obsessed with the visions and this vision and that vision, but what do we do with the messages that we receive? How do we bring them back down to earth in our daily life? I think that's the real work. Oh, sorry. And then she bumped into a dwarf. Exactly. That's what I thought. What? Why is there a dwarf there? You know, these stories, they're kind of designed to like irritate our soul a little bit. For me, it's the dwarf. For some people, it's the finger. Every part of the story is a part of ourself, right? Was he her intuition? The wisdom of the ages? I don't know. But I do know the dwarf said, hello there. What brings you to this neck of the woods? The support I had was really amazing. I was probably one of the only people in the hospitals to have a visitor every day, and that's not to be taken for granted. I also found it extremely helpful to talk to people along the way who'd gone through something similar. It's like, oh, this person's been through a crisis and here they are alive and well and healthy, and that gave me a lot of hope. Other than that, art was a huge lifeline, music, any creativity. I took advantage of therapy groups, and the medication can be helpful for some people, but for me I found it quite numbing, and it didn't actually stop the strange experiences I was having. The secret that everybody knows, trust the rhythm in your veins and bones, the secret that everybody knows. And I was lucky enough to meet some shamanic teachers who understood this world view and took me seriously. I wasn't just seen as crazy just because I saw things or heard voices.
Diagnosis, psychosis, depression, obsession, PTSD, ADHD, HIJK, LMNOP. Medication time. Time for medication.
A little word about craziness. I would say that being on the inside of a mental health hospital completely changed my perspective about what it means to be human. I think in the past I was probably quite immature, and if I saw someone talking to themselves or shouting, I might think, oh, crazy, or feel afraid. But I understood that the mind is extremely complex, and it's hard to know really what someone else is experiencing, what's going on for someone else. Harry Potter says to Dumbledore, is it real or is it just going on in my head? And Dumbledore responds, Well, of course it's going on in your head, but why should that mean it's not real? And the wind started to blow. And it started to blow stronger. And it stretched out its arms. And it stretched out its legs. And it started to move in all kinds of directions. And it swirled around and around in a circle. And around and around in a circle. And around and around in a circle. To be who you are. Be who you are. Be who you are. That's right, be who you are. I think the best we can do for anyone experiencing psychosis or some kind of tender mental health state is to create safe, grounding and empathic spaces, and to try not to judge the unfamiliar. Also, people told me, be around children and animals, they're good for you. They are. And to try and surround ourselves by people that can remind us who we are, maybe lift us up a little bit and remind us what we love. And the finish line is a circle. We lift each other up. I think what the medicine and indeed life wants from and for us more than anything is to be the best we can be, do the best we can do, and try to bloody enjoy it along the way. No, I wouldn't choose to go through this experience again, but undeniably it shaped me to be the person that I am today, and that I wouldn't change or take back. Is the earth calling, wake up.
The whole space was transformed into her performance piece in every way.
How she shifts between different characters and the ups and the downs and the intensity of it is insane. It felt like a healing process in me while it was going.
She shares her deep, intimate experience, which really inspires me and makes me want to go through my own journey and gives me hope.
I can really identify with it, and it was not easy, and it was very profound and powerful and healing.
It was so genuine and real. I felt like I was with her.
I'm so grateful that I could taste a little bit of her story, and I left with a lot of questions and a lot of things to think about, and I want to watch it again.
Time is passing round and round, the silver light circles waxing and waning, waning and waxing, until the day I return to the place that I belong. Round and round, the silver light circles waxing and waning, waning and waxing, till the day I return to the place that I call home.
Blah, blah, blah.